Hi, I'm Tim, welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. Datejust. Use it in a sentence. My date just dumped me at the prom. Fortunately, this 41mm Datejust might be the one for you. The story of the Rolex Datejust begins in 1945, which was also the 40th anniversary of the Rolex company, or Jubilee. That was the first Datejust, and it was born with a Jubilee bracelet. The two have been hand in hand or lug in lug ever since. Now, the watch was designed with 3 hands and a jumping date, quite advanced for the time, the idea being that relative to the time of day, the date was always just. Fast forward to 1954, and the watch gains its well-known Cyclops Eye magnifier for the signature date. In 2009, Rolex added the first of the big Datejusts, the Datejust II. At 41mm, it had wrist presence, but it also had some proportional snafus. So in 2016, Rolex kept the size but changed the details with the better proportioned Datejust 41. Now, maybe I just don't believe in kissing on the first date, but I was at Baselworld and I wasn't taken by the initial version of this watch. However, in 2017, the full steel model won my heart. It is a versatile bedrock Rolex. The Datejust has always been the fourth person in the Rolex relationship. While the GMT, the Sub, and the Daytona are the sexiest, any canonical list of the great Rolex models needs to consider the Datejust. Compared to the Datejust II, there are quite a few changes in detail, starting with the dial. The dial is broader on the Datejust 41, and the indices are slimmer and more graceful. The bezel, too, has been made slimmer and less visually weighty. The lug profiles are more graceful and tapered, and if you look at the case and profile, it is finer, trimmer, and slimmer. This is the sportiest way you can spec a Datejust 41, and I should mention, the cheapest at $7,900. Take a quick look. Loomed dial, black, full stainless steel, flat conical bezel, and Oyster 3-link sports bracelet. The watch both is and isn't a dress watch. It's important to remember that you can absolutely add two-tone, Roman numerals, non-loomed dial, even gems if you like. But as you see it right here, this is a borderline sports watch, and options are a great feature of the model. You have lume, blazing blue in Rolex's signature chromolite. You have the Oyster bracelet, as often seen on sports watches like the Explorers, the Sea Dwellers, the Subs, and the GMTs, with Easy Link inside the clasp for quick adjustments. Sometimes it's what's inside that counts. And a major feature of the 41 is the presence of caliber 3235. Automatic winding now with a 70-hour power reserve. It is also a certified Swiss chronometer, anti-magnetic, highly shock resistant, and, thanks to a twin lock crown, protected down to 100 meters. I should mention that the date remains just, and on this Datejust 41, instantaneously jumping. I have to admit, this box is no match for a box of chocolates, but I should say that while generic and austere, it is also incredibly important to Rolex value that you keep the full boxed set and the paperwork. Let's take a look at what you get. Outer box in tan, inner box in green. You get 2 cushions, you get an Oyster Perpetual Datejust user's manual, you get a warranty booklet with a worldwide service network listed, you get a pleather wallet to hold the documents, and a new for 2021 Rolex warranty card design. This is definitely not a unisex watch. It's going to be dating men exclusively. You need a 15 centimeter circumference or larger wrist to wear it well. It's 51 millimeters from link to link, so that gives you a sense of how broad it wears. Think 42 millimeter Explorer 2, not 40 millimeter Rolex Daytona. Who should consider this watch? First, romantics. The Datejust is a classic model line that harkens back to the halcyon days of Hans Wilsdorf leadership when Rolex was rife with innovation and anything seemed possible. Do you enjoy playing with online car configurators? Have you lost hours creating your ideal Ferrari F8 on Ferrari.com? Well, you are going to love the tool on Rolex.com for creating your ideal Datejust 41. Do you have a moderate amount of patience? Well, unlike GMTs, Daytonas, and Subs, you can actually sign up to buy this watch new at a dealer and wait for months, not years, to take delivery. Alternatives to consider. First, for For the same $12,350 you will pay to buy a steel warranted Datejust 41 used, you could get on a dealer list and buy a Rolex Yachtmaster Steel Platinum new. Consider a classic rivalry, the Omega Seamaster Aquaterra 41. It's similar in size, more water-resistant and more resistant to magnetism, and while it is heavier and thicker, it also puts the movement on display and costs only $5,700. Want to go upscale? Consider Patek Philippe and the Aquanaut 5167 1A. Yes, that's right, the full bracelet Aquanaut. You get a display case back, finer finish, and greater exclusivity, albeit for $26,600. Consider the best of East and West. Flying east, we see Grand Seiko with the new Evolution 9 collection and the spring drive automatic SLGA 007 Lake Sua dial. It has color, it has character, unique spring drive technology, and with a 5-day power reserve, this one can be had for $8,700 US. Or how about a Swiss swap? If your date prefers bonbons, you can get $7,900 worth of Swiss chocolate rather than a Datejust 41, which, incidentally, is 1,217 pounds worth. Shopping for a watch online can be like a blind date, with eBay and Chrono24 as Tinder. Fortunately, Rolex offers so many options that this date just might be the one for you.